Thanks for tuning in to my gaming podcast, Gems in Gaming, where I play various games and tell different stories about my life, experiences, wisdom, anything to help inspire and encourage others. You were born with the ability to change someone's life, and you should never waste it. If you enjoy, please like, comment, or subscribe.
Kingcayne.
Alright. What's going on, y'all? Alright, I guess we can take off the chef hat for now. Alright, what's going on, y'all? So, I had to do this lesson over. I wasn't a fan of the direction I was going, which is honestly, I need to stop doing that. If I record something, I need to just let the content just be. But I feel like the lesson is extremely important, and I was getting distracted with the lesson. So I want to do this over because it's the lesson that I'm telling you today is extremely important. And I'm relearning Skyrim. I haven't really played since probably the last Gems in Gaming, so bear with me as I learn the game again. But today's concept, which is extremely important, like I said, I normally try to keep these Gems in Gaming to about, I don't know, like 20 to 25 minutes. This topic, obviously, because I think it's important, will be a little bit longer than that. So bear with me as I get through the lesson for today. But it's extremely important, and the concept today is time, the importance of time. The importance of time. So if you've heard some of my old Gems in Gaming, then you know that you have purpose, or at least we've spoke about exploring that topic, that you have purpose. So I need you to keep that concept in mind for today. If you are struggling with that concept, I think I go pretty in depth with it. I can do another lesson if needed, but I want you to go check that out if you haven't seen it. And then now that'll give more clarity on the lesson for today, which is the importance of time. So if you have purpose, then you know that you are impacted by one of God's greatest gifts that he's ever given us, which is time. Imagine if there was no time and you had a headache and your headache just lasted forever. Imagine if you were depressed and there was no tomorrow. Just imagine some of our hardships and imagine those lasting forever, right? Time is great. Time is fantastic. And it's how at least how I've come to realize that, okay, I can get through this because all things are temporary because of time. And if all things are temporary because of time, then you shouldn't have to worry too much about certain things happening because, like I said, they're temporary. And it's going to happen. That's okay. But if it's going to happen, then that means it's only a matter of time when certain things will happen in your life. So this is why and remember, forgive me guys, I'm still learning how to play. So if you see something and you're like, bro, what are you doing? That's totally fair. My Skyrim game is trash right now. But, and if you know things are going to happen, to you, no matter what, and it's just a matter of time, then you have to manage that great gift. You have to manage your time. If you don't manage your time, someone else will manage it for you. We've done that throughout our culture, throughout the government, throughout education. We are always subject to being controlled by someone or something because they're managing our time. Never let anyone manage your time. Especially if you can avoid it, but even if you can't avoid it, you need to manage the remaining time that you have, the bit of time that you have. I say if you can, even though we're all given the option to manage our own time. But the moment you start to realize that you have purpose, the less you are willing to allow someone else to manage your time for you. Okay, so understanding that time is important, you have to manage it. The reason that I continue the game now is because if you don't schedule your pleasure, then your pain will schedule itself. And if your pain will schedule itself, then you need to make sure you're taking the appropriate amount of time that you can and doing something where you can relax and have fun and enjoy yourself. It's very important to understand that. And the reason I say that is because, like, as I'm starting my own business and as I'm doing more in the world, I have to do more podcasts and more speeches and getting to know more people. I realize the importance of time. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, video games, TV, a lot of stuff is a lot less appealing to me. A lot less appealing to me. Only because I don't see the benefit of doing these things with my time as much anymore. Now, gaming I like, because to me it's the campfires of today, right? I can sit down and have a deep conversation like we're having now with games. But if I do it too much, if I game too much, or if I'm spending too much time on it, I start to just I'll just stop in the middle of doing something, and I'll just realize, I'm like, bro, this ain't even fun. This ain't even, I'm wasting time, and wasting time to me isn't fun. And I will realize that when I waste too much time. You know what I mean? So when I waste too much time, then I start to go time for me to do something else, something more productive. What I am starting to do with my time is manage it very, very carefully. Very carefully. And what I mean by that is I'm starting to have a routine. I'm starting to use an agenda. I'm starting to make sure that whatever I'm doing with my time, it's planned, it's scheduled. Because when I don't plan my time and I just wake up and just do something, literally just wake up and do something, I realize how unproductive my day is. I realize that. Today, like I said, I'm starting to lose the attraction of games. Today, I knew I was going to do gyms and gaming. And because I was going to do gyms and gaming, I said, hey, let's do it. This is how I'm scheduling my time. Let's do it. I don't feel like I'm wasting it, and I'm okay with doing it because I know I'm doing something productive out of it. Now, what about for something that's not, fun, something that's not pleasurable. Because at the end of the day, we still have to work. You guys know the legendary equation: all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So which means if you do all of work and none of play, then you will be dull. Well, at the same time, I believe that if you do all of play and no work, you equally be as dull. So it's a balance. It's a balance of the two. You're not just here to have fun. You're not just here to work. It's a balance of the two. That you're here to live. And a lot of people confuse work with their job. Your job is what people pay you to do. Your work is what you're born to do. And sometimes your work is right there in that job that you're currently at. Right? So I game. I'm a gamer. I have a business based off of gaming education. I have a lot of partners that are involved in esports. I deal with a lot of I still deal with games till this day. So while I deal with games, which is great and I enjoy it, I also am an educator. I've studied math for a long time. I have a degree in theoretical mathematics. I have a degree in theoretical mathematics. I've been listening. I've been studying pretty much my whole life. Like I said, I was good in STEM. I've always been a great STEM student. Wow. I've always been a great, STEM student, all those things. And I'm starting to see that a lot of the things that I've done and a lot of studying that I've did, gaming that I've done, I see all of that was preparing me to do, preparing me to, oh, we gotta take her out. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it was preparing me for, my work. And I still don't know what that is. I'm still on my way to finding my purpose, but I feel like, I feel like I'm doing the right things. And I know when I'm doing the right things just based off how my spirit reacts to certain things. So like I said, if I'm gaming too much and I'm starting to feel dull, I'm like, all right, it's time for me to do something else. If I'm working too much and I'm starting to feel dull, like, all right, it's time for me to do something else. That is the whole point of managing your time. What is making you live? What is giving you pleasure? What is giving you joy? Your time is extremely, extremely, extremely important. One of the greatest gifts that you've been given by God, straight up. So, if you know that your time is important, how are you going to start managing that time? Right, that's important. That's one of the most important things that's going to come out this Gems and Gaming. How are you going to start managing that time that you now know is one of your greatest gifts because you have purpose? Well, for one, get an agenda, get a routine. If you're in school and it's your job to if you're in school and you have to go to school every single day from a certain time period, when you get home, what you do when you get home is what's going to separate you from everyone else. And we all deal with that right now, people that work in corporate or people that have careers. What you're doing when everyone else is chilling is extremely important because that is what's going to separate you from everyone else in life. And it's all based off how you are managing your time. Straight up. It's not about where you're born, what you've done in life, your accomplishments, nothing. It's about how you manage your present. I've seen people who've been in super blessed, super successful situations and end up losing it all. And you got to ask yourself, like, yo, how are these people losing? Everything. You thought stuff would happen forever for certain people, like everything would last forever. I've seen stories of billionaires in such heavy legal battles that they had to sell, or they had to completely transition from the entity that they owned, or whatever they got in trouble for, or whatever they was getting in trouble for. They had to completely abandon that, completely jump ship. I've seen millionaires go broke. This is just in my lifetime. I've heard stories of many people, but I've seen millionaires go broke. Why does everyone want to smoke with me, bro? I've been chased by a giant spider. Like, leave me alone. And I think, did y'all see Buddy get off his horse as soon as I rode by? It's like, bro, I'm chilling, man. I don't want no smoke. Having smoke with people is a waste of time. Straight up. You ever, I always talk to my, and forgive me for going off on a different tangent for every point I was making, but I talked to my niece and I asked her how middle school is, and it's sad to hear that it's pretty much the same. So going back to actually what I was talking about, there are people who are doing the exact same thing in middle school that people were doing the same time when I was in middle school. So that means what? Schooling hasn't changed. Education system hasn't changed. They're still dealing with drama, still dealing with fights. Who can win the most fights? Who can have the most drama? Who's the funniest? Who's the prettiest? This, that, stuff that doesn't matter. And I say all that it doesn't matter because when you look at a middle schooler, if you are an adult or if you're older, you look at a middle schooler and you go, yeah, that's stupid. It's just middle school. It's gone. It's 3 years of your life. It's not going to last. Okay, you can look at that way right now at a middle school because you're not there and because you're older and you're past that point. But we still behave that exact same way out after that. As a society, as a culture, we're being prepared for that. When you can influence children, you can impact the whole new generation, whether good or bad. If you teach children your ways, they will be impacted. That next generation will be impacted. They're not going to look the same as us. You have to understand that too. Kids in middle school today don't look nothing like the kids that went to middle school when I was going to school. So, as the times change, the culture changes, and when the culture changes, how people behave changes, how they look changes. But they're doing the exact same things, just differently. Right? That's what happens when you follow the culture. When you're not staying true to yourself, I think that was one of the gems in gaming. When you're not staying true to you or not using your time appropriately, you're going to do what everyone else is doing. Someone else is going to manage your time because you don't have a routine. And if they're managing your time because you don't have a routine, they can make you look and do and say anything that they want you to do because they're managing your time. Right? So if they're managing your time, then when are you going to say, you know what? Since middle school, I have been still getting involved in gossip. I have been still having beef with people, trying to talk to this girl, trying to talk to that boy. And now you're trying to talk to this woman, trying to talk to that woman. Like, you're doing the exact same stuff. You're not managing your time any differently. Right? School has you going from classroom to classroom to classroom to classroom. Right? dealing with your friends and whoever from period to period. And then when you get home, what are you doing? Are you doing your assigned work? Are you building your education? Are you doing better for you? Are you doing sports? Are you doing something that's productive for you? Or are you wasting time? Are you doing what I'm doing right now? Are you just gaming and only gaming? So you just go to school all day, come home, and then boom, you on the game all day. You're not, after years of doing that, constantly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gaming, all for your free time, then you will, I'm telling you, just based off experience, then you will wonder, man, where did all the years go? Where did all the years go? All right, y'all, forgive me. So the camera died, so I had to restart the video real quick. So I kind of lost my momentum, kind of lost some of the things that I was gonna say, but I think the point is very clear, or at least I was trying to make it clear. It's like how you manage your time is important, but you got to make sure that you're not wasting time for years. All right, because like I said, I trapped myself in my room for many years playing games for a very long time. Yeah, I did good in school. Yeah, I got my degree. Yeah, I did good in life. I'm married. I have a house somehow in 2023. I have done good things, and people look at me and go, "Wow, like you're doing some great things. You're amazing. What you've done is amazing." And I also hear advice about how gaming is detrimental and how it's not beneficial at all, and how you should stop wasting time. And I don't necessarily disagree with it. I just say to you, and the reason that I'm still sitting down at this virtual campfire of video games and having these conversations with you is just to let you know that no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you're occupying your time, there's nothing that can stop the truth, which is you have purpose. And at some point, you got to dig deep and find that purpose inside of you. And when you find it, you go, okay, how do I make the most out of this? And I'm telling you a huge secret. You make the most out of it by managing your time. If someone else manages your time, they're not going to allow you to sit there all day and find your purpose. Like, hey, what do you think you're here to do on earth? They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, no, they're going to go to school, go to class, or go to work, do what everyone else is doing, gossip, listen to, I don't know, pop culture or whatever people are listening to, just relax. Like, why are you taking life so serious? A lot of people will say that to you. Are you not happy with what you have? A lot of people will say things to keep you complacent, right? And if you're complacent, then you're not going to pay attention to the time that you're wasting, because for what? Like, I'm chilling, everything's good. What's the point of me stressing so much? What's the point of, why are you tripping? A lot of people say that. I'm telling you that where it's great to schedule your pleasure like we're doing, and we're playing games and we're talking, like you guys are here listening to me, we're having a good time right now. Okay, what are you going to do after this? What am I going to do after this? Am I still going to sit here and just game for the rest of the day? Right? Like, is that going to be beneficial to my business, to my marriage, to my family, to the team that I have? I don't think so. No, I have to schedule this pleasure. I have to make sure I'm taking some time to appropriately relax and have a good time and do what I need to do, which is great. Some people do this all day, every day for decades. I'm telling you from experience. I've been around people. Obviously, I'm a gamer. I've been around the gaming community. I know when people are happy about, wasting time and complacent with it, because they'll tell you straight up, like, I don't care, this is all I'm about to do for like forever. And it's tough because when you get off work or when you get out of school, like, the last thing you're thinking about doing is something ultra productive, because you're so mentally exhausted and you're so mentally tired. And I get it. It sucks out here, but you do have the ability to manage your time. And as you start to manage your time more, you start to let people manage your time less. Just speaking from experience, just straight up, I have a mentality that if I was still working in corporate, I don't think I'd be great, because I'd be challenging what they'll have me wasting my time on. And that's one reason I didn't do well in corporate, right? But like I said, your purpose could be exactly where you are right now. It doesn't mean, be me and leave and do your own thing and start your own YouTube channel with gyms and gaming and, like, I'm not telling you to be me. I'm telling you that if you want to learn some lessons that I learned, learn some important things that I find to be true and hold true to my heart, then take with these lessons what you can and go apply it to your life. But don't let anyone else determine how your life is going to go, determine how your day is going to go, determine how much time you're going to do doing a particular activity. You determine that. That's all I'm saying. You determine that. That's the point that I'm trying to get across is you versus you. It's you versus you. It always has been. It always will be. It's you versus you. So you manage your time appropriately. Don't let anyone else manage your time for you. Don't let anyone else try to schedule your day or tell you what you can or cannot do. Don't let anyone else try to limit you. No, bump all that. It's you versus you. It's you versus you, straight up. And if it's you versus you, you're going to have to look in the mirror one day and go, at some point in your life, and go, man, I straight up was wasting a ton of time. Straight up, I was wasting a ton of time. And I'm just letting you know from experience. So, the importance of time, I hope you got something good out of this. I had obviously better thoughts and better plans in my head. I always do. But you can find like more heavier speeches on my Pitch Play Co. Platforms that I have. I'm actually considering changing content styles from here. Like gyms and gaming was fun, but I am most likely going to move on to something else. I'm going to school soon, and like I said, I got my business, so I'm extremely busy, so I probably won't even have that much time to game anymore. So I'm going to explore some new hobbies, and I'll probably make that future content. I'm having fun gathering around a campfire and sharing stories and things that I think are beneficial, but eventually I think it'll be a memento to my love for games, this Gyms and Gaming podcast. And I'll probably just continue to do like research. Pitch Play is about explaining business through the use of video games anyway, so I'll still have ways to connect with this particular community, but don't forget the important topic for today, which is the importance of time. Don't forget that, guys. I am busy a little bit, so I need to go do some work. I hope y'all got something from it. Take it easy, and God bless.